Hey guys, sorry for the delay. Paige had a technical difficulty. She had to drop the call. She's dialing back in.
All right, everybody, I'm back. Sorry, I don't know what happened. Happy Friday Technology Challenge morning. Okay, so let me get to the leaderboard, as that's always how we start our weeks. Let's see, we have Claudia C. with 2 applications, 474. Those were 2 children's policies. We have Dawn T. with 1 application for 1,125. We have Lori J. with 2 applications for 1,174. We have Charles C. with 1 application for 1,513. Sarah Z. with 2 applications for 2,055. We have myself with 1 application for 2,064. We have Michaela R. with 1 application for 2,396, and that is Michaela's first application, her first time writing. So awesome job, Michaela. Glad to have you on the leaderboard. I'm sure it's going to be the first of many. We have Chris H. with 5 applications for 3,924. We have Joe R. with 3 applications for 4,562. This is also Joe's first week writing. So first-time writer with 3 applications there and a great first week. Awesome work, Joe. Keep it up. We have Janine A. with 6 applications for 4,910. And we have Chantel W. back in total beast mode with 30,687. That does include 2 annuities. And, hey, guys, I do want you to remember that with the annuities, you get to count 10% of that volume towards your submit numbers, and it will also end up counting towards your issue paid once those annuities go in. So awesome job, Chantel. She had 21 appointments, everybody. She's the only person on our leaderboard that hit the 20 goal mark. And with that, so do keep in mind, the more appointments you have, you're stacking the deck in your favor. She was able to sit with 12 people, 12 appointments, and wrote 8 applications out of that plus the 2 annuities, okay? So everybody needs to be striving for that 20 appointment goal as a minimum if you're full-time, okay? So, and yes, Chantel, exactly right. She also attended 2 trainings. We were out of town in New Jersey for the Rising Stars meeting. Got Mother Nature dealt us a terrible blow. We couldn't fly back, but we drove all night. Thank you, Chris Howard. He's a great driver, and torrential downpour of rain. And we didn't get home till the wee hours of Friday morning. And she got, if you guys tuned in last night, you know she got a last-minute invitation to attend the meeting with Shawn Mike. I missed that, but I was actually training in Charleston, which I know quite a few of you were able to come down and attend, which was also great. So a busy week in there for everybody, but the way to outwork it and be extremely intentional about your schedule, Chantel, and it definitely shows in your numbers. So the first thing that we wanted to talk about today was just a little bit about what we got out of Rising Stars. And I hope all of you tuned in last night to hear Chantel on This Week with Golden State because she went over this somewhat, but we just wanted to highlight it again because it was such a defining moment and factor for myself and for Chantel. One of the biggest things that we took out of that Rising Stars was defining this why. And she kind of went into how Mark had met with Dave Anderson. He'd been part of one of his seminars. And this is a big takeaway that he took from that and wanted to share with us, and I'm very thankful that he did. So this was a way I'd never heard about defining your why, and I was struggling a little bit with mine. Mark talked about how he had kind of met all his initial goals, all the things he had in his why that were important to him, you know, bringing his wife home from work so she could stay home with her 2 small kids in a nice home. All that had happened. All that had transpired, getting debt-free. So he had gotten complacent. He had let mediocrity creep in. and he gave us a warning that it creeps in very slowly, and you tend to not even notice. And that's why it's so important to keep your eyes on this, right? If you find that you're not waking up with that same zest for this business, you're not just jumping out of bed like, yes, I get to go help families and, line my bank account with a ton of money and just jumping out of the bed, maybe it's time to look at your why, okay? So these 5 categories, these 5 levels, just wanted to go over those a little bit more because we highly recommend that all of you guys do this as well. The first level is the survival level, and I think that speaks for itself. A roof over your head, clothes to wear, food to eat, literally the basics. And any of you who've ever heard Dave Anderson at our annual conference, or if you're reading his book or listening to his podcast, he references a lot that one of his first houses he shared, he had a ton of roommates. They were rats. And he didn't have any furniture, so he slept in a sleeping bag on the floor with the rats. So his first survival goal was to get a place with no rat roommates, okay? So survival, it can be pretty basic, but that is the number one level. The second level is material. And, guys, I know sometimes it can be hard to think about all the things that you want, because maybe you have been brought up that, let's give back, let's not be selfish, let's not be greedy. We're not trying to be any of that, okay? We're trying to set the things that mean enough that you really, really want to work hard for them. Maybe it's a dream house, okay, or an upgraded house from where you are. Maybe it's a better car. Maybe if you're a female, maybe it's a purse or shoes, or jewelry. Us women kind of like those things. All right. I know for Freddie, we have moved to the beach, and Freddie wants a boat. He is just totally jonesing for a boat. It's okay to want these things as long as what you're doing to achieve them is still helping other people. We want to have these things to set for. So, guys, be sure that you really think about your material why, okay? The third level is external. And the way Mark explained that one was basically who is counting on you? Who outside of yourself do you want to impact? For me, it's definitely my children and my soon-to-be-born granddaughter, Georgia. We're very excited about that coming in October. That's a big thing for me. Also, right now, Freddie and I work together, but our business is growing, and honestly, we need an admin. So that's going to be an external why, because Chantel referenced this. She's created a new job opportunity right in Raleigh, North Carolina, for hardworking individuals to come in and help her grow her business and get a regular paycheck, and eventually get bonuses and increases as our businesses grow. We want to take care of our staff. I had that same, we're in that same point. We are in need. I think you guys can definitely expect us to have an admin on board working directly with Freddie and myself by the end of the year at the latest, okay? That's an external why, okay? So maybe some of you are looking for an office, and then the next step is going to be an admin, okay? So that's an external why. Who is counting on you? Who are you impacting other than yourself, all right? Legacy is the fourth one, and legacy kind of speaks for itself. What do you want to leave behind? And this isn't all necessarily finances. It's not all necessarily money. It may be something bigger than that. Do you want to start a scholarship at a school in your name or in your family's name? Do you want that to be left behind? That's still impacting people long after you're gone. I would love to be a much bigger giver to my church. Personally, I would love to give to any way that helps animals, okay? That was something that sits very close to my heart. And I would also like to give to the environmental and recycling awareness to help, make changes and improvements in our current world. That's a big hot button for me. So just to kind of give you an example, legacy is more than just I want to leave $1 million for my kids when I'm gone, okay? So give that some thought. And then virtue. Virtue is all, Mark explained it about, it's very emotional. It's about accepting responsibility for yourself, for your life, for your actions. It's about, different things like, and one example is if it's important to you about being early, not being late. That's a virtue. So things like that. And one of the things that I wanted to do, sorry, getting a little emotional, as I did in New Jersey, I want to be sure my children know that there are no limits on their lives. So, guys, that's really important to me. I see so many people and clients that I meet that are struggling, just living barely paycheck to paycheck. And they don't know that there's something else they can do. I want my kids to know that there's no limit. They can do whatever they set their mind to. For goodness sakes, they're all hard-headed enough that if they do set their mind to something, they're going to achieve it. And I want them to know there are no limits, okay? So virtue was very important. All right. So I do want you guys to go over that. I do want you all to think about it. Let it make an impact. Let it really seep down in your soul so that you can get as much out of this as Chantel and I did in New Jersey, okay? Because as you can see from her numbers, it sunk in. As you're going to see from my numbers this week, now that I'm back from vacation, you're going to see a marked increase. I haven't been doing what I want to be doing. But I think this was a big stepping stone for me. So, all right, the next part that we want to share with you guys, we missed last week's call because Chantel and I were asleep after driving all night. So I know we didn't actually talk about the July goals. I appreciate everybody who posted theirs. If you did not, please feel free to go ahead and post it on WhatsApp or send me a text or Chantel a text so that we have that documented. But we want to talk about not more than just setting a goal, how you track your progress towards meeting the goal, okay? And for that, we're going to turn it over to my awesome better half, Freddie, and he is going to go over that with you guys.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Glad to be on with y'all this morning. I've kind of put together some ideas that I've come across through the years. This is kind of near and dear to my heart. I ran a $12 million a year motorcycle dealership for about 25 years and learned from mentors that whole time. We had to set goals for the dealership, weekly, monthly, annually, and we went through these goal-setting practices several times a year. So I'm pretty excited to be able to share some of this with you guys. To start with now, I am in no way the guy to go to for dialing help or running appointment help or anything like that in the field because I'm not in the field anymore. So if you need any kind of help like that, reach up to Paige or Chantel. But if you need some help with goals, I'm your guy because I've done this a long time and really excited to share this with you. So we sent out this goal-setting guide in March, sent out the email from one of our team calls. So I don't know if you got it or if you want to go back and go over it after today, that would be cool. So real quick, I'm going to run through this. Goal versus a wish, okay? Don't head fake yourself. A wish is something that you hope for. A goal is something that you plan for, okay? I like to use the basketball analogy, okay? Suppose they're out there playing basketball and they're just all bouncing the ball. There's no goal. They're just running around bouncing the ball. That'd be silly, wouldn't it? They've got goals on each end, okay? And now to get the ball in the basket, they've got a plan. They've got plays they run, okay? So I just like to use that analogy. There's 6 steps for setting a goal, and this is what we sent out before. You have to be very intentional, just like with the rest of this business. You got to have a specific goal, okay? What is it? You got to decide what it is. Paige talked about that a few minutes ago. You got to have a specific time to achieve the goal, okay? So you have to write that down. What's your goal? When do you want to have it? Is it a week? Is it a month? Is it a year? Third thing you do is you must write down the goal. And this is very powerful. We learned a long time ago, if it's not written, it's not real, okay? There's something magical that happens when you put pen to paper and write it down. It just gets soaked up in your subconscious, okay? Many people like to skip that goal or deem it as unimportant. Don't be one of those people. Writing something down always makes it seem more important. And then put it somewhere where you're going to see it daily, okay? For my goal-setting process, I keep them printed out, and on my desk where you can see them daily, and then schedule a time every Monday to go over it and review your goals to make sure you're moving forward each week to achieve them. Fourth thing you have to do is you must develop a plan to achieve your goal, okay? This is where the rubber meets the road, okay? Wanting to hit a 20K a month goal is great. Like Paige had people, what's your goal for July? And if you just reached up in your head and picked out a number, I want to do 15K, I want to do 12K, I want to do 5K, whatever it is, throwing down a number is cool, but then you've got to have a plan to get there, okay? What are you doing today, okay? Can you get there doing what you're doing today? Ask yourself that question. If you can't, then you need to make some adjustments and make a plan. You need to have specific steps to reach that goal, okay? You must decide, number 5, what the price is you're willing to pay, okay? If reaching your goal was easy, you'd have done it by now, right? So there's going to be something or some things that you'll need to give up if you set your goal high enough, okay? You need to identify that step. To make an extra $10,000 a month or whatever it is, you may need to give up TV or get up an hour earlier every day, but figure out what that is for you and make it happen, okay? Number 6, you must think about your goal every day. Your dreams keep you going, but your goals keep you on course. Do some reflection in the goal-setting process. Put them in present tense versus future tense so you can actually feel them happening and you can see it. For instance, say to yourself, it feels amazing to make an extra $10,000 a month. My savings account is growing every day. Say those things out loud to yourself. It sounds cheesy, but it's the same as affirmations that you hear from Paige and Athena and Chantel talking about their affirmations every day. You need to do the same thing with your goals. You need to plan your business and work your plan. I'm going to use some examples here real quick just to break it down on what we do. I like watching the numbers. It just excites me to see the numbers. And sometimes when they're not so good, I get excited about helping Paige make them better. But Paige's averaged $23,000 a month issue pay year to date through June, okay, which are pretty good numbers. But here's what she did to get there, kind of breaking it down. The first thing you have to do is have leads, okay, obviously. She has averaged $938 a week, okay, for her lead cost. Now, out of that, she tries to run, and she doesn't hit it all the time. Sometimes yes, sometimes no, but she has goals. 24 appointments a week. Now, dials, I don't know how many dials. Dials are what they are. You dial till you're done, right? You guys know that. And then I like what we've been hearing from John Wetmore. Are you really working? It takes like 1 minute for one dial. So, how many minutes are you working a day? So you dial till you're done. Paige has been averaging 7.25 policies per week, which is like 1.81 per day. Breaking it down, her average annual premium is $1,116, okay? Take that times the 7.25 policies she does every week is like $8,091 AP, okay, annual premium. And that breaks down to $5,750 issue pay per week, okay? That's just kind of a breakdown, but if you break it down in steps like that, you can really start to watch what's happening, see where you need to increase. Maybe you're not getting enough appointments because you're not doing enough dials because you don't have enough leads, okay? It all kind of works together. How many policies are you writing a week? Track that. Track per day. If you're behind on your goal, you can adjust it weekly, which is what we like to do. I'm always telling Paige, you've got this many policies this week or you've got this many policies this month. she always asks me, where am I year to date? Because she's got a goal for the year that she wants to hit. And she says, what do I need to do to catch up? So we readjust her goal based on where she is and how many months are left in the year. We go back and readjust all these numbers. But if you stay on top of them, it's really not that big a deal. It just takes, a couple hours a week when you're really watching it. But it really puts things into light as to what you're really doing, If you're full-time in this business, I just think it's so important to have these goals in front of you that you can watch every day. And one thing I learned a long time ago, if you're tracking your numbers daily and weekly, when you get to the end of the month, they should be a confirmation of what you already know, not a surprise. I hear so many times when people are asked what their numbers are, what did you do last month? And a lot of times people just go, well, I think, or I'm not sure, or, that's really not a good way to run your business. You should know where your numbers are. And if you don't have time to do it yourself, hire somebody that's going to help you, because it'll really keep you on track and keep you going where your business needs to go. So if anybody has any questions on this kind of stuff, I'll be glad to help you out, break it down. This is recording, obviously, is going to go out, but if you need any help with the logistics of the internal part of it, I'd be glad to help. And love to see everybody grow. But get on top of your plan and your goals and make it happen. And this will help everybody. So I hope that helps. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, and I hope you guys all have a great week. Finish out your month strong, and we still got a good part of the year left. And start planning for August and get your people to the meeting August 22nd. Invite anybody that you know that might be interested in a great opportunity you can share with. And we look forward to seeing everybody there. Have a great week, guys. Bye-bye.